Morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. And this is your breakfast bankroll for Monday, July 11th, live from Vegas. I am right across the street from Top Golf, 3 blocks from the Strip, right down the road from the World Series of Poker, which we will talk a little about. Got to meet one of my big-time fans from Brazil yesterday, Mr. Felipe Ramos, a professional from Brazil. He brought me a lot of gifts. We'll sport that later during the week. I am full-blown Brazil now, Brazil poker. But first, I want to say on Saturday, my partner in crime, Mr. Scott Webb, dad passed away. He'd been battling for a few weeks, and I've had a lot of heart-to-heart talks with Scott during this time, and just wish him and his family the best. His dad, may rest in peace, lived a great life, and big baseball fan, and that's why Scotty chose the route that he did and became a professional catcher, and the rest was history. So Mr. Ed Kelly, rest in peace. Scotty, we're here for you in spirit, and if you need anything, we're here. So an amazing weekend. I landed here Saturday morning. Mr. Dave Sharapan picks me up at the airport. Spent the day with him and his family. And then we go and pick up Julian Edlow from DraftKings at the airport, spend the night at the Circa. And I'm going to tell Riley a story as we broke down the golf for yesterday's finale at the Scottish Open. And I wasn't holding the winning ticket, Riley. I did give Matt Peralt and everyone that listened the winner of Joker in 3 sets. I'm sorry, 3-1 was the exact at plus 220. I give it to everyone. And of course, Riley, I'm not holding that ticket either. I did play a 3-team championship parlay, which I am ecstatic about. And I'll break that down. So without further ado, let me bring in my co-host from the Windy City, the one and only Mr. Riley Magnuson. Morning, Riley.
Morning, my friend. Morning on your side of things. It's creeping up on close to noontime over where I'm at. I'm happy to see you're living the Vegas life, having a good time with all those guys. I'll pass my condolences to Scotty and his family as well. Tough to hear that. Hope he, is spending some time with. It seemed like he spent some good quality time with them at the end. So, happy to hear that. But I'm excited to hear what the championship parlay cooking up is. What leagues, what sports are we talking about here?
All right, so you're at Circa, and you can put together whatever you want. You just can't double up in the sport. Okay. I did $100 3-team parlay.
Okay.
Astros.
Sure.
Alabama.
Okay.
The Bills.
Okay. What are Alabama's odds? I honestly haven't seen those. I can pull it up real quick, but either way, no, I don't hate that at all. Obviously, you know where my homerisms lie in the NFL, but as far as the team that I would pick outside of my own, that Buffalo, I might have to play my hand at that as much as I had 2 sports where I still have. I'm losing optimism. Obviously, I've lost optimism as far as the World Series is concerned. But love the Astros' chances. Yeah, we've talked about it. Obviously, I mean, you look at the standings; they're not that far off from the 1 seed from the Yankees. Everyone's talking about their record, and obviously, here come the Astros as far as kind of slowly creeping up. But, and then Alabama as well. I mean, you can never go wrong with that one as well. So I'm interested. What are the total odds for the parlay?
Well, I want you now. Okay, so in college football, Alabama off an off year, losing in the championship,
Yeah.
especially to an SEC foe, is the chalk.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to go with Ohio State. I think that's the team this year. I think that's the Georgia of last year. The problem
Yeah.
is the defense. That's
Right.
what scares the crap out of me. I'm
No.
drinking the Kool-Aid with the Bills.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they're going to be the number one seed in the AFC. It's going through Buffalo this year. If you
Uh-huh.
go in and beat them, God bless you. For the
Right.
Astros, now I did this on Saturday night, obviously before Alvarez goes on the DL. He's a big part. You know my love for Alvarez to catch Judge to win the MVP. And I was talking to Dave at length, and he brought up a great comparison, and that was Ortiz. Now Alvarez gets snubbed from the All-Star game.
Right.
They don't give MVPs really to DHs. He brought up some amazing valid points. But I'm going to go grab the ticket. As I go grab the ticket, I want you to think what that $100 parlay is going to pay.
I was almost pulling it together. I won't pull it together. I'll give it honest guess. I saw all the odds. So Alabama's close on this app. It's plus 180, so close to 2-1. Astros plus 550 over here, so 5-1, 6-1, and then Bills about plus 650. So I might be way off. I'm bad at calculating parlay odds in my head, but I'm gonna say, is it over 100-1?
I got the Astros at plus 520.
Okay.
The Bills at plus 600. Alabama at plus 165. So $100 parlay is paying $11,401. Total ticket $11,501.
I like it. I can't hate on it. I think you're the thought process with Alabama I absolutely love. Ohio State, you know me and my Big Ten, but losing a lot of receivers. Still got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's going to be an absolute monster, but it's not the 2-3-headed monster quite. I mean, they'll have some talent obviously, but it's not going to be the 3-headed monster of potential top 15 type draft picks that they have at playing receiver. But I'm with you. I think it's gonna. I would agree with you. I think it's gonna be Alabama, Ohio State, and I'll take Alabama's offense to beat their defense and Ohio State's or excuse me, what did I say? Alabama's offense to take care of Ohio State's defense, and then Alabama's defense can still do enough, obviously, against Ohio State's offense as good as it's gonna be. So I like it. I'm interested. I've been doing my off-season research the last week or two on NFL and college football. So I'm gearing up. I'm gonna have some blogs coming out soon. I'll have the British Open blog, the Open blog this week, and then after that, it's all football from there for me.
Okay, so I'm official. Dave got me my BVB hat, so I'm officially part of the brigade. We go to dinner, me, Matt Peralt, Sharapan, and Julian Edlow. And then we come downstairs and we're staring at the board, the mad scientist going to work here.
Yeah.
We're looking at the Wimbledon finals, and I'm just staring at it, and I'm like, guys, Joker wins 3-1, and they're looking at me. You could have got him in a sweep. You could have got him 3-1, 3-2. I'm like, there's no way in hell it goes 5. Right. He always allows you to win one set and get you feeling good, and then that's it. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I can't lend my tennis interest, but I was at least watching it. I watch tennis about twice a year, but the consensus was I saw a lot of people. I didn't see too much of what you did, so congrats to you. I saw a lot of people taking Nick to take the first set, and then after that, it was I didn't see many thoughts and opinions after that. So, what were the odds on 3-1 though?
Plus 220.
Okay, no, that's a hell of a win for a guy that was a pretty steep favorite coming in. So kudos to you. I mean, it was a pretty damn entertaining finally, despite the 3-1 finish. Obviously, the 4-set going tiebreaker. I mean, like I said, I'm not a tennis guy by any means, but you can catch my interest for an hour or two once a year.
So now we go to the Scottish Open, and you know how I am with Circa, meaning when a big number moves, you got to follow it. It's just, and there was a number that was sticking out. So Xander has a 3-shot lead. He was only minus 115 to win, which Circa's telling us he's not going to win.
Right.
Jordan was plus 650, which was respected. The U.S. Open winner, Fitzpatrick, was only plus 1150.
Right.
And then a bunch of those guys were just 1250, 1450, 1650. Right. On our show, me, you, and Dubsy, who was the name that you brought up that he didn't like as much this week, he likes next week?
Mr. Tommy Fleetwood. I believe we were both interested in him. I kind of put a gun to his head as far as what would you rather have, and he was even more bullish on him as far as this upcoming week, which I still totally agree with.
And I took Fleetwood on his and your thought process on my one and done, so I got a decent score on that one, and I moved up in the rankings. So I'm sitting there with Jordan at 650. I'm sitting there with Fitzpatrick at 1150, waiting for one of these two to fire. Xander comes back to the pack. He loses the lead. Jordan's within one and poops his pants. Mm-hmm. And Fitzpatrick never fired.
No, kind of hung around there as far as like top 5 range. But yeah, didn't. It was just Schauffele and Kitayama for the most part. So, I mean, Xander's playing well to the most part, but also the couple wins that he had, if anyone else was playing some really nice Sunday golf, could have absolutely stolen it away from him. So, as nice as these wins are, you can't scoff at a win in these fields that he's winning in. Obviously, it's a star-studded field, but like I said, I'm not going to be, full-fledged throwing money at Xander Schauffele because he's got a couple wins. I mean, I expect somebody to be a little bit crisper form this weekend. And, if he's up there, I'm not saying he's not going to have a nice weekend. But, he hasn't really been playing finishing golf, and yet here he is standing at the finish line with the trophy in his hand. So kudos to him. I'm a big fan. But, it should be interesting. I can't wait to talk about it some more.
Okay, so baseball, we've changed gears. We're doing a lot of team totals. We had a great week. Going into Sunday, I reach out to Julian. I give him 2 team totals. I gave him the Royals. He was shocked they get there. I gave him the Rangers, and they get the solo homer in the 7th, I think, to get there. I sent you a note. I said it was going to be a Sox day. ECSI VIPs. Okay, I put together 3 parlays yesterday. One paying 382, one paying 523, one playing 714. First parlay, White Sox money line, Dodgers money line. The dog of the day was the Red Sox plus 120. Second parlay, White Sox money line, Dodgers run line, Red Sox plus 120. Third parlay, White Sox run line, Dodgers run line, Red Sox plus 120. All 3 of those games, White Sox down 2-0. Dodgers down 5-0, 8-3. Red Sox down 4-0 and 6-2. All 3 miraculously come in.
I don't know how you did it. The Dodgers won a 9-11 game with the Cubs. That's the type of one where I've been on the wrong side, where it's like, all right, I think the Dodgers are going to explode today, and then they do, and then the opposite team goes even deeper than the other team, and the Sox get a couple. I think it was unearned run in the 8th inning. The White Sox, I should say, to clarify, the unearned runs. So kudos to you, my friend. You got the finisher on Sunday Night Baseball as well for. The hometown team, which obviously you weren't in the hometown this weekend, but kudos to you. I can't deny it. You sent me a few, I sent one back, and you kind of gave me some nice words on it, but it fell on its face. As far as the Oakland A's over 1.5 in the first 5, that one was a dud. So kudos to you. That's how you draw it up on these Sundays, right?
For weeks we've been on the wrong side. We're the guys that are up 6-0. We're the guys that are up 5-0. And then the shit hits the fan. And I always say, guys, just stay the course. Stay in your lanes. They're supposed to even up. And yesterday, not 1, not 2, but all 3 evened up.
I mean, yeah, and when you have a Sunday parlay like that, those are the ones that, yeah, you can feel good about yourself as far as the entertainment. The entertainment adds, doubles the value of whatever the tickets were almost. So, yeah, hell of a way to end the week and kick it off for the new week, my friend.
Now, I'm not at home at NASA. I don't have my three screens.
Sure,
Dawn Best to the left, Sports Insight, Wager Talk. I'm flying solo, so I'm going to be leaning on you here. I'm going
sure.
to use my phone here as well. Throughout the week, guys, everyone watching and listening, I have confirmed B2B. We're going to probably get a golf show either Tuesday or Wednesday. Myself and Riley will obviously break down the Open. We're waiting for confirmation with Dubsy. We're going to get Dubsy on here, hopefully before tee off. It makes it hard here because they tee off basically Wednesday night again, right?
Yeah, right. Kind of around midnight, yeah, for the most of the country, right?
Okay, so we're gonna have to get that done. Regular show Wednesday with Andrew. We'll cross the border, talk CFL, and then we're gonna bring Dan in at the end of the week, talking some lacrosse. I think it's All Star Weekend, so we're gonna backtrack there.
Nice.
So what we're gonna do is you and I will do a closing bell later today. I wanted to get up and run in so we could just get back on
Yeah,
track here.
sure.
So I pull up the major league board, see what you're seeing, see some opening numbers and stuff. I do have one team total that I was looking at already, which
Okay.
again, the team totals, what we're trying to do here, guys, is to grab the plus money. Okay, so if you do 2 or 3 team totals and you go 2-1, you're making money. If you go 2 games, as long as you split, you're making money. I'm not going with the over 3.5 minus 145s. The ones that look so good, we're
Right.
staying away. So the board is yours. Take it away, my brother.
Alrighty, I think there's about 10 games today. Doubleheader to kick things off. Detroit and Kansas City. I think 1:10 my time, 11:10 your time, I believe, and then 2:10 on the East Coast. So that one looks like ESPN Plus. Michael Pineda, Brad Keller. I think Kansas City about minus 140 in this one. Two pitchers that Pineda is. I think this is start number 3 after being on the IL. 2 and 3 runs allowed the first couple of outings. I think a couple games against the AL Central as well. So Brad Keller, scorching hot start, then freezing cold next month. I think it was May, and then now is kind of just back and forth, the hit or miss. Typically pretty decent against the AL Central. So I don't have any strong opinions on this one by any means, but over under a 9. I'm gonna lean towards the Royals with Brad Keller in this one, but it's a kind of a pinch your nose and guess, lean towards that one. Anything from you aside from that?
The only thing that stands out, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the second game. Isn't our Fado scheduled to pitch?
Correct. Yes.
So what I'm hoping is that used to be stay away from the first game.
Yeah.
Let's root the Tigers home, and then you can come back and fade Fado. How's that sound?
No, I think you're right on that one. Yeah, I wasn't hopping into this game for sure, but yeah, Fado in the second game, Lynch as well for the Royals. So interesting one there. But yeah, that one pretty split money on that one. I don't think the line's moving around too much at all there. So yeah, I don't have too much strong thought on that one. We'll save it for the second one. Pittsburgh and Miami. Let's see, Mitch Keller and Trevor Rogers. Excuse me. Rodgers, we've been talking about him. Still has yet to kind of get back into the form he was last year. I was looking at it. I still expect some positive regression. Looking back to last year's first full season in the league, 2.25 or so ERA, had a 3.4 strikeout to walk ratio, and is all the way down at 1.9 strikeouts to walk this year. So that's really the control is where you're seeing the issues from. So I kind of expect him to get back on that track and kind of get back to the form where he was last year, where he was fantastic through 5 innings. It was still tough to get in, though, because of this Miami offense. So if you can find the combination where if you think he's going to positively regress and you have a nice day where you think the Marlins offense is going to be nice, then it's a solid bet, right? So any expectation that this could be that day for Trevor Rogers, or are you saving it for maybe a little later, maybe after the All-Star break?
This was the one play that jumped out at me. Marlins team total was 4.5 juiced under minus 140 on Wager Talk. Marlins team total over 4.5 plus 120 is where my eyes are here today.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Any thoughts of a Trevor Rogers positive regression though in this one, or are you just relying on the offense there?
Positive regression in regards. I think the Marlins get it done. I'm not calling them. Remember, for weeks we talked about those pesky Orioles.
Yeah.
Who have
Oh, yeah.
magically won 8 in a row.
I don't know. They're leaving pesky territory and just be close to just good territory almost.
Marlins are putting it together. Mr. Alcantara, best pitcher in baseball. They're starting to believe. I was kind of hoping they can hold it together for one more week, gather up that momentum, and take it away, obviously, to the second half here. I think you do see the positive here. I think you can get it done today, and if I'm in on the Marlins team total, I think they win today. How you want to skin that cat is fine, but I like the plus 120 on over 4.5. Therefore, I'm saying 5-3, 6-3. Maybe they get a touchdown and the extra point. I can see it happening.
No, I love it. I love that compared to I think even first 5 in the hook is even still minus money. So I love the value on that compared to that for sure. White Sox in Cleveland here, split with the Detroit Tigers at home this weekend. Lance Lynn, Cal Quantrill. I like Lance Lynn. Hasn't been fantastic yet. I think he's still got a lot of energy and attitude. So I like him at some point here to have some really nice starts strung together, and I think it could be this one here. Obviously, they got 4 games against Cleveland and 4 against Minnesota heading into the All-Star break. So, the biggest part of the White Sox season here. Just released a lot of speculation that front office leak to the baseball media as far as kind of what we all expected as far as the lack of chemistry. Kind of a call out article as far as the cohesion of the team. So. Right before the most important stretch of the season. So kind of not a coincidence there. I think it was pretty well coordinated by the White Sox and the media. So I don't know if that's going to put a spark into this team or not. But I like Lance Lynn in this one. I'm not quite sure what to expect from the offense against Cal Quantrill. Any thoughts on your part?
No, you would expect. Okay, so my first question is La Russa on the big stage and showcase this week. In other words, a 2-5 week or whatever. If you had 6 games, a 2-4 week, would they dare pull the plug? Or because you're on blast now.
Oh, I mean, we're still in the we're within striking distance of the AL Central in the wild card. I think 5 games in the AL Central, 3 or so, 2.5 maybe in the wild card. So from that perception, we're still in striking distance. But if we go, it's 8 games before the All-Star break because there's a doubleheader tomorrow. So it's a game every day and 2 tomorrow. If they go 2-6, I mean it's almost this week might not make or break the season. But if they go 2-6, 1-7, maybe not 3-5, but 2-6, that might break the season and put us into a hole that we can't climb out of. And I don't know how you wouldn't do that, or at least the hitting coach or something along those lines. So I would hope so. But like we've talked about, there's nothing to indicate that there's any optimism that that'll happen. I mean. If he's going to be fired because they realize he can't control the front or control the clubhouse, maybe that's the way it gets done. But I obviously hope that we go positive this week and at least win one of these 2 series, if not both of them. But we'll see. I don't expect him to be that hot of water. It's it hasn't really the rumors haven't been swirling enough to that point yet. So if it does get to that point, I hope he is pulled the plug. But we'll see. I don't have the highest hopes as far as that is concerned, Jeff.
Now, I like where your eyes are with Cease. What's the number again?
Lance Lynn today.
Lynn,
minus 113, 115 on the full game, about minus 125 on the first 5 there.
Yeah, I could see you dipping your toes in the first 5. Obviously, you'll know early which Lance Lynn you got.
Yeah.
A little bit hot and cold, hit or miss. You hope you got the good one. Quantrill's kind of sort of been that punching bag, but he has shown lately okay stuff early. I think the White Sox get it done. I think this is a big game for them to start to build that momentum. So I like where your eyes are. Maybe a half unit first five, half unit full game. You're into that game. But I think they make a statement and they start to get rolling. They're on blast. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and I'll just say one last thing, and then we'll move on. But yeah, we've gotten to this point, a dozen times over the last 2 months where it looks like we're starting to build something, and then we shoot ourselves in the foot. But with Cleveland going, I think they're 2-8 their last 10. At least what I'm looking at, it might be worse. Past that stretch, if we can win this series and kind of obviously jump them, we're only a half game behind them now. They're a losing baseball team after the stretch they had. So if we can jump them and kind of, get that leg up on them and win in Cleveland, which is obviously tough. We have a lot of tough situations doing that, but that I think would jumpstart the momentum, and then going into Minnesota, if we can do the same, then I think all systems are go. So that's what the hope is. This last week was the second biggest week of the season before this one, and it was a little shaky. So going to your hometown neck of the woods, not where you are now, but Boston and Tampa Bay. Bello making start number 2, I believe, against Whistler. Anything you can lend on this one? Are we going to see a nice Bello start and start 2 this time around?
Well, I have to be transparent here. Very, very successful this year on fading the teams that travel on the late night game.
Oh,
Now
right.
Now it was a late night. I mean, that was a 4-hour plus game. They leave feeling good about themselves. Bello opening game? There was so much hype, great composure. He faced the Rays. Now, good first inning. Got some pitches up in the second inning. I think he gave up 3 or 4, and the rest was history. I expect a bounce back. I think he'll be sharper. I think he'll be away from Fenway, less friends, less fans. I'm looking for more composure there. I'm going to fade and stay away just because of what I said. But I wouldn't be shocked. The Rays, you're supposed to play the Rays today. I'm going to just say it that way. Fade the Sox today. Home team, late night game, traveling. And that's been a pretty good success. So a lean would be Rays today.
No, yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. Yeah, no, as far as the atmosphere from last week compared to this one, it's going to be night and day for him. The stress is not going to be there. So, I'm with you as far as the caution on a lot of those things. But next one up, Philly and St. Louis. Another good one here. Nola and Mikolas. Philly's obviously with Nola on the mound getting the respect in this one. About minus 120, 125 in the full game, about minus 130 on the first 5. Quite a bit of money coming in on the Phillies with Nola on the mound in this one. Mikolas, it seems like just about every time with these lines, he's expected to have some negative regression. I was going to say serious negative regression, but maybe not super serious. Hasn't been fantastic so far this month, but are you expecting Nola to kind of cruise along, kind of how he's been going the last couple of weeks, or you think the Cardinals, who have obviously not been playing well, kind of get out of this slump that they're in right now?
On Friday, we went 3-1 on team totals. The one loss was the Cards. Their offense has been anemic. It has been putrid. This team has crashed and burned. Not nice to see Nola, obviously, against you when you can't hit a beach ball, never mind a baseball coming in at 98. Mikolas has been leaking oil. I watched him both starts last week. I don't like what I'm seeing. I can't back the Cardinals, even though it's a great value play home dog. They really need to get it cranked up before the All-Star break. I'm staying away. Anyone that wants to jump on the Philly train with Nola, I see it. If I was you, I would dive in, maybe minus the hook first 5, and hope to just steal the win there and not have to worry with the Phillies back end.
Yeah. Before we move on, I mean, what is, as far as the full season is concerned out of the All-Star break, Cardinals still, despite the skid, I mean, Brewers kind of leveled off. They had their own skid a few weeks ago, 2.5 game lead over the Cardinals. Where's you headed as far as those two are concerned for the NL Central? You think the Cardinals dig themselves out of it and reclaim this thing, or now the Brewers kind of hitting a point where they are coasting a little bit and they might be in control of this one? Which of the two would you pick right now?
I would take another swing with the Cardinals. I think if my eyes are correct, they're going to get some pitchers back. I want to say Blackjack Flaherty's on his way back. I think the skid, even though now they did pass the Brewers, now the Brewers have passed them back.
Right.
Um, I I think anyone watching and listening that wants to get a little stake in on the Cardinals, I expect a big second half. They had a great second half last year. You're not going to keep Arenado and Goldschmidt down this long, Edmonds and a few others. I think that they'll regroup, they'll rally. I think you get a strong second half from them.
No, I think we're 100% on the same page there. Close to 2-1 odds to win the division still, despite only a 2.5 game deficit. So definitely, if you love the Cardinals, definitely something to think about there. Next game up today, Mets and Atlanta. This one is a hell of a matchup here. Max Scherzer and Max Fried. Scherzer's second start back off of his stint was, I think, a shutout in his first time out through 6 innings. And Max Fried has been one of the better pitchers of the last month and a half or so. And Atlanta, obviously, one of the best teams of the last month and a half or so. Odds on this one, where we sitting at right now, Atlanta getting the respect at home, despite the Max Scherzer start. Any thoughts on this one? Is this a popcorn game? Were you surprised to see these odds with Max Scherzer, especially putting together a nice start in his first time around? Were you surprised to see these odds at the very least?
100%. And Max is a lightning rod, and there's a lot of respect from Vegas on the Braves side. Offensively, The Braves have been raking. This 10-game deficit has all of a sudden, is it 1.5 right now?
Yep, looking at it right now, 1.5 now.
So a big series here. I'm going to probably say this ends up being a pros versus Joes. I'm saying all the pros will be on Max. You're getting plus money. Second game back, you usually wait for the third game. Fried has been just absolutely lights out. I'm not saying Alcantara or McClanahan lights out, but he's put it back together. Definitely popcorn game. Anyone that wants to grab the plus money on the Mets, TJ, if you're listening, I don't fault you here, but a big series here. I think it's more bigger for the Mets in the regards to, hey, we had the big lead. It's down to 1.5. It's put up or shut up. Reminds me of Dodgers and Giants last year, where the Giants had the big lead. The Dodgers got it close. They even got it to even, but they never could pass them. So I'm rooting for the Braves. I called it 2 months ago when they lost Max, when they lost DeGrom, when they lost McGill, and they're leaking oil. And we'll see which Mets team shows up. Alfonso's got to wake up. Their offense has to wake up. Popcorn for me, but if you wanted to grab some plus money on Max, I don't fault you.
No, not at all. I kind of lean towards the Braves a little bit in this one. I could see him not getting beat up by any means, but if we're seeing the good Fried, I could see this one being a 3-1 through 6 inning type game for the Braves' favor. So I kind of lean towards that way this afternoon or this evening, wherever this one's at. Oakland and Texas. This is probably the least amount of thoughts that I have on these two pitchers. Martinez and Howard. Martinez for Oakland, Adrian Martinez and Spencer Howard for Texas. Anything to mention on this one, or you moving right along from this one? Texas about minus 180 in this one.
I like where 1 second here. TJ just said, I've been burned by the Marlins. I'm hesitant to jump in. TJ, it's like this. Set it and forget it, okay? I didn't tell you to take them to win. I didn't tell you to take them the first 5 or the full game or the run line. We're looking at plus money value here. Take a look at the under-over. Take a look at the Marlins team total, and take a look at the Pittsburgh team total, okay? So the fact of the matter is that in the shop that I'm looking at right now, you can get plus 120. You don't have to worry about closing pitchers. You don't have to worry about bullpens. You don't have to worry about extra innings. You don't have to worry about who the hell wins. And that's what we've been doing the last few weeks. We've been on fire on these team totals. Yesterday, I gave our buddy and a few people that wanted them 2 team totals, all plus money. Royals, which no one would have thought the Royals were going to get to 5. They got to 5, and the Rangers got to 5. So that's the one that sticks out with me. As for the Rangers cooking with Crisco. Their offense has definitely woken up. If you wanted to sneak it into a full game run line there, I don't have a problem with it. If you want to sneak into a first five minus the hook, again, too big of a number, too big of a tax to jump in. Just money lines. If you were dabbling in parlays and stuff, that's a whole nother ball game.
Right.
But I like what I was referring to the Mets, but oh no, okay. I thought you were talking Marlins, TJ. Yeah, you're right. Hey, TJ, I talked for at length, and I love you to death, and I love your love for the Mets. But I said, don't sleep on these Braves. And my buddy, Mr. Bill, who for 2 months said the Braves are dead and they're not the same team. I know they weren't the same team as the World Series champs, but they have a way of blending and meshing together. So TJ, no, you're spot on. The Mets, I don't want to say they've regressed because they had the big lead. They had a lot of missing parts. The missing parts are going to come together. The break could not have come at a better spot for you. You're going to get a few days of rest. You're going to be fresh and you're going to be ready for the second half. So go ahead.
And just to add on, I mean, even if they're a wild card team, you have to feel pretty damn good going into a wild card game with your choice, probably of either, assuming they're healthy, of DeGrom or Scherzer, as far as because it helps the NL Centrals doesn't have a 50-win team yet, so you have to imagine even if the Braves run away with this thing, that the Mets are still going to be fine as far as grabbing a wild card spot. So. And obviously they've got the horses to advance in a small do or die game or small do or die series. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, 100%.
So where are we at here? I think next one up, game 2, Detroit and Kansas City. We kind of already talked about monitor the first game, and if Detroit gets game 1, then maybe consider the Royals in game 2 there. And then I think 2 more on the West Coast later games, NL West, San Diego and Colorado. Sean Manaea and Jose Urena in this one. San Diego, despite being they are on the road here, only about minus 150. Is this a little bit of a stinky line to you for the San Diego Padres, or is this a fair amount of respect for the home team Rockies versus the left-hander here?
You talked about that at length for a long time about Rockies home lefties, a Padre team. I don't want to compare them to the Cardinals, but they've kind of hit some rough patches. Offensively challenged, it's like Manny Machado in a cloud of dust. I'm hoping, especially for my fantasy team, that Tatis comes back after the break. They might move him out in the outfield. I haven't heard any more about which Manaea are we going to get? That's the question. Looking at some of the sites, I've seen 11.5s. If you look at Wager Talk, it's 12.5. I saw on Wager Talk a Padre team total 6.5. I don't know where you're shopping. That's telling me Vegas thinks that they're going to get a touchdown. Do they get the extra point? Do they get the 2-point conversion? I know last time they were in Colorado, we rode them in a few team totals, and they were very, very good to us. So where are you looking now? Do you have a Padres team total?
Let me pull it up real quick. I didn't have it right in front of me. Let me get it real quick. But yeah, I could see both of these. Yeah, this is another one where even if if this one seems stinky to me and I'm interested in the Rockies, I could see the Padres putting up a boatload of runs on top of, maybe you also have the Rockies. So let me see if I can get this on FanDuel. The Padres over 6.5 is minus 102. Over 6.5 at minus 102. Under 6.5 at minus 120.
Yeah. So again, what you got for a game total there? Is it 11.5?
11.5 minus 114.
So what they're telling us here is that the Padres are getting a touchdown today. Now, do they get the extra point or do they get the 2-point conversion? And it sounds like they think you're going to get the Manaea giving up maybe 3, maybe 4. I'm not going to go into the over in the game. What intrigues me there is that Padre team total. You don't see a lot of 6.5s. I know it's in cores. You're getting basically even money on the over 6.5. So anyone that wants to get into this game, what I suggest is 2 things. Padres team total over 6.5. You're getting almost even money there. Number one. Number two, you can get a Padres run line, I assume, probably close to even money, correct?
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Even money on FanDuel here, minus 1.5. Yep.
So if you want to go full game Padres run line there as well. But if you wanted to get your toes wet in this one, I'd take the Padres team total over the 6.5. Hope they get the extra point or the 2-point conversion.
Right. And to add on, as far as Jose Urena, last week, first start with Colorado. On paper, if you're just looking quick on the surface, looks pretty solid. 6 2/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run, but 21 balls put in play. So yeah, a lot of balls going right at defenders last week when he faced the Dodgers. So you have to imagine same recipe today. Probably going to find some holes. Probably going to be jumping off the bat a lot more there in Colorado as compared to I don't know if that was in LA or San Diego last week, but nonetheless, yeah, I think the Padres put up a boatload of runs on Urena there. Going over a little further west, Arizona and San Francisco. Last game of the evening, Merrill Kelly and Alex Cobb. I believe the Giants got 2 games back-to-back the last couple of days after that rough stretch. I know they soured you earlier in the week there or the week before or whatever it was. 2 wins yesterday against the Padres. They split 4-game series with the Padres. Is that enough to get this team back in your good graces, back on the right track, or are you taking a big fat break from this Giants team? You want to see them kind of iron out a little bit one way or another here?
D-backs have been pesky. They scored some runs, and I can't get a good temperature feel on the Giants. Cobb has been hit or miss. I think we've been on the wrong side of him 2 out of the last 3 starts. What do you have for an opening number?
Let's see. Opening number, I believe it was about -165 for the Giants.
I mean, the only way you could play that obviously would be a run line. First 5 minus the hook. It's the first day of the week. If you feel foggy, a little beer, we'll give the Giants one more swing. I think you got the advantage in the starting pitching. Neither side has a great bullpen. It's one of these, if you're in the full game, you're walking on eggshells the whole time. So tough call, slight lean, run line, just grin and bear it.
Yeah, no, I'm staying away from this one for sure. Like I am at the point where I want to see this Giants team for the last week or so, and maybe out of the All-Star break they get back to the team that they were for a while. So I believe that is all we've got here for the 10 games today. I don't think I missed anything. Anything else you wanted to add as far as today's slate?
No, I think we've kind of covered the whole board again. Our goal here today was to get back up, get in the rhythm. Just get that board out there to everyone. Any questions, comments, concerns, you can reach obviously me at EC Sports Invest, Riley at Riley_Magnuson, the one. My goal here, it's 9:29 my time now, so it's 11:30 your time, 12:30 back east. The goal is maybe to come back in 4 to 5 hours just to touch base, to go over maybe some late scratches, any movement on the numbers. We'll do a shorter version of the closing bell. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds great to me. No problem over here.
All right. So everyone watching and listening, we can't thank you enough. Again, if you're not following us on YouTube or Twitch, just jump on over. It's a free hit subscribe at East Coast Sports Investors on YouTube and Twitch. Otherwise, myself and Riley will be back in about 4.5, maybe 5 hours to wrap things up to get you closer to that pay window. So always remember this: if you are wagering or investing already, please do it responsibly. If you do have a problem, ask for help. There's an 800 number. Reason why? Myself and Riley do care. We do. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. For myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from the one and only Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a blessed morning. If you are out in Vegas, reach out to me. Let's go grab a drink, grab a quick bite, watch a game. It is hot as Haiti.
Oh, I've seen. I didn't even think about asking you. My goodness.
I got over 7 miles in yesterday, and let me tell you, I probably lost about 3.5 pounds. Jeez. Not enough water. You grab a cold water and you have it in your hand, and I'm telling you, 15 minutes later, it's boiling in your hand. So stay hydrated.
I was crying because it's about to be 90 here today, and then I saw somebody else. It's what is that, like 110 for the whole week?
100.
That's sticky, man. That's sticky.
It is. Stay hydrated, peeps. Keep the H2O, try to stay away from that other stuff because it just goes right through you. So stay hydrated, peeps, and we'll see you guys in about 4 or 5 hours.